The Pixel ecosystem is really what we're building out. Adding a lot of different games to the Pixel ecosystem. The problem we're having right now is a lot of Web3 games don't generate revenue. But bringing on the ones that do, because that's kind of how the staking system works. And we've been very experimental since day one, and I think, and we will continue to be experimental.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 74 of Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship. My name is Lum, your Web3 host. For those of you who are new to the show, Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship is a show highlighting the journeys of builders and innovators in Web3 and entrepreneurship. Some topics, especially in Web3, may get technical, but we do our best to keep it accessible for most people. Here today, I'm joined by Heidi Christine. She is the CMO and head of community at Pixels. Heidi, could you give a quick introduction by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. I am CMO and head of community of Pixels, cozy, fun farming game. At its core, we have a lot more going on than that. And yeah, I'm on the marketing side, the external side of the company. I've been on the team since almost day one. So it's been a journey, and I'm excited to share that with you today.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure we'll we will go into Pixel a lot more in a bit later. But I think before that, I think most of the audience will be interested in knowing more about you, like what you did before. Feel free to maybe just walk us forward in time, but choose a point of time when you feel appropriate, maybe from after college, before college, or whenever you feel appropriate, and walk us up to present day.
Okay, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
I loved high school, loved math and sciences in high school.
Nice.
But I didn't want to go into research. I thought standing in a lab doing research, I felt like I needed to do something more like communicating with people and that kind of stuff. So I decided to study electrical engineering, which is pretty wild. It was very hard, 4 years, but it was such an amazing experience.
Were you the minority in your class?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh yeah. I stuck out like a sore thumb. It was a really cool period of my life. It really tested me, taught me how to work hard, overcome some diversity. Also, obviously, like you just mentioned, I was severely the minority.
Yeah.
And what engineering really taught me was how to problem solve. And when I look back at all of the different crazy paths I've taken in my career, every moment, every job, everything like taught me what my skill set is now, which I think is pretty unique. And that's what I like to tell people too, if they're feeling kind of lost or not really sure where their direction is headed. Just know that whatever you're doing now is preparing you for that. Because I would have had no idea. Like if you told me 10 years ago, hey, you're going to be working for one of the biggest games in crypto, I'd be like, what's crypto?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a pretty cool experience. After that, I moved back to Vancouver where I grew up, and I struggled to find an engineering job because it was kind of a weird time of year for new graduates. And I ended up at a software company that specialized in grocery logistics, which is quite niche. But I learned a lot about how logistics works in a very niche market. Only 2% of the trucks on the road in North America are transporting groceries.
Interesting. What does it mean, like grocery logistic, by the way? Like moving grocery from one...
like trucks, place? Like distribution centers, farms, going to your grocery stores in the city centers in the middle of nowhere. What's the best route for all of those trucks to take? What's the most optimal? And it was my job to actually fly down to distribution centers all over the United States and train people on our software. So the people that were creating the routes, I would teach them how to do that on our software. And that was such an powerful learning moment for me, because I came in also as this like young 22-year-old girl from the city going to these distribution centers in the middle of rural America, very different culture. And generally the folks that I was teaching were decades older than me. So I had to level with these people that are quite foreign culturally to who I was at the time, and also way older. So I had to figure out how to demand respect and respect these people. And it was, I think, crucial in like my career training to what I do now, which is marketing. There's a bit of sales involved in what I do too, because I have to sell people on what we're building, what we're doing. And I have to teach them, at the beginning, before we got started, you mentioned, or maybe it was in your intro, I already forgot about how we want to keep this easy, accessible for everyone,
Yeah,
but
we do.
sprinkles of Web3 in there. And that's all I do. I focus very hard on making sure that everything that we talk about, that we release, is accessible and digestible for everyone to understand. So yeah, going back to that, that was crucial learning moment for me. And I had no idea, right? I was just doing my job at the time.
Interesting. Was it more like a sales role or more like an
No,
learning development?
it was like project management, client services, because I
Okay.
had to manage the process of implementing our product at new distribution center sites, and they're all so unique, right?
Yeah.
So we had to configure our software a lot and deal with a lot of data. I was like deep in the SQL, although I'm terrible at it. I could never get it to work properly. But it was very interesting and very niche, and I look back very fondly on that company too. I was, I think, one of 2 females at the company out of 30. Well, it's kind of like electrical engineering, right? Down to, but it was a magical time. But then I was there for about 2.5 years, and I hit a moment. I had an anxiety attack. I just needed to do something creative. I had grown up very creative, and then I studied electrical engineering, and then I went into this, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. I wanted to do something creative, something that felt more authentic to me. So I quit my job in February 2020, which was quite the moment globally to be unemployed. So
yeah, right during the pandemic, right?
it was right before.
Yeah, right before.
We had no idea. My original game plan was, hey, I'm going to take a month off of work. I had some savings. I was like, I'm going to take a month off, and then I'm going to start applying to jobs. Funny. Hilarious. That's not how it played out, of course. But what I did was I wanted to do something creative, but I didn't have the skill set for applied creative work, if that makes sense. So I downloaded the Adobe Suite, and I just started teaching myself digital marketing skills. I started filming YouTube videos. I painted my hair pink. I dyed it hot pink, and I filmed a video, and I cut it all together, and I posted. That's all archived now. Okay, don't try to look for it. It's gone. It's gone. But I just wanted to learn those skills, and then I bought an iPad. I started illustrating and learning how to illustrate, and then I ended up working with a small design studio out of the US, and I was basically their lead contractor. They would just throw anything at me. So I was designing documentation, I was managing social media and content creation, and editing podcasts, and just doing anything and everything. And so I picked up a lot of skills along the way, and I ended up freelancing for about just over 2 years, I think it was. And that's when I met Luke. So one of the women from that design studio, my AirPod fell out. I apologize. The design studio that I'd been working with met Luke at one of kind of those culty startup bootcamp things. And he really needed marketing help. He was like, oh, I really need marketing help. Just, writing tweets, like nothing. We weren't talking anything big here. So I hopped on a call with Luke, who is our founder CEO, pardon me. And he had just pivoted from what Pixels was previously. It was a event platform, Web2, called Mesh. And he had just pivoted to Pixels, which is what it is now. And he really just needed help with, creating content on social media. This was like bull market. It was crazy times.
This is 2020, right?
2021, December 2021.
Oh yeah, I think. Okay, yeah, that was still I think
it was that. I should know. I should know the dates, but I don't know. Maybe 2022, 2021, 2022. I don't know. Anyways, a long time ago now. I hopped on a call with him. It was a week before Christmas, and I said, yeah, I was freelance marketing. So I was like, sure, this week, because it's Christmas, I'll give you 10 hours, and then we'll do 20 hours a week moving forward. And he's like, great. The first week was 10 hours, second was 20, the third was 30, and the fourth week I was at Miami Tech Week with him recruiting developers. And we had a little booth, and it was terrible. It looked so ugly. We did not hire anyone out of that event either, but it just accelerated like crazy. I was no longer writing just tweets. I was managing everything external related, and then community management came in hot quickly also, and it just kind of blossomed from there. So that's like the very long story of how I ended up in the world of Web3, kind of by accident in a way.
Interesting. Yeah, so it sounds like you've done quite a lot in a short time, but then you found your true passion, right? You said you want to do creative, and then came back. Interesting. How did you so you said you self-taught yourself? Was it pretty easy? Was it difficult? Like what were some of the learnings in the process?
Yeah. So, how I like to learn is how I find I learn best is when when I'm being paid to do it, right? Just sitting down and illustrating something for me. Like I did it a lot, but if someone was paying me to do it, I was going hard.
Yeah.
It just like gives you that motivation. So that's why freelancing was really fun for me, because working with design studios and I also had a bunch of clients external to that. I was just doing a little bit of everything. And when there's expectations on the line from external sources, i.e. someone's hired you for this, it motivates the hell out of me. And so I just pushed myself to learn, and YouTube videos, trial and error, all of those things. Just get your hands dirty, just learn it, just do it. And I also will say, like, I always joke that I'm queen generalist. I'm not the best at anything, but I'm pretty damn good at most things. And I think that has also helped me significantly in the startup world. When there was a point in time where it was just me and our founder, Luke, and if I only knew how to write tweets or, illustrate, there was no room for me there. I was doing everything. So yeah, that's kind of how the journey went and the learning curve. I'm still learning. I'm still learning every day. I've been writing quests and doing things that I had never imagined I would do at the start.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think, I mean, in Web3, one of the needed skills is like ability to learn fast, right? Because the industry is just growing very fast and like got a super fast pace.
Yeah.
We've been, many of my guests have said like, one week or 1 month in Web3 is like maybe even 3 months or half a year in
Yeah.
traditional other industry, right? Yeah, so we did grow pretty fast. Yeah. Wait, so did you learn about Web3 before you met Luke, or did you like just
Barely.
gotta get
I
in there?
had a close friend that had been involved in crypto Web3 for maybe about a year or two. And they had always pushed me to get involved, but I just didn't care. I didn't care at the time. I was focused on learning digital marketing skills. So when the opportunity came along, I was like, oh, sure, great, absolutely. I didn't really care what industry it was at the time, just to be honest. I didn't even consider myself a gamer back then, because the kind of games that I play are very much mini games. Honestly, the kinds of games that are dominated by women, like those sorts of iPhone games, those sorts of things. So,
Like Candy Crush? I'm not sure what games
oh yeah,
women
actually,
play, by the way, so I don't know.
no, it's so funny. I don't talk about Candy Crush much anymore because I haven't played it in a couple years and it feels inauthentic to talk about it. But yeah, I have a stupidly high score or level on Candy Crush. It's like 3,000 something, unimaginable. But I haven't played it in a few years, so I don't talk about it as much. But that was kind of at first the game that I would always talk about, because yeah, I'm probably one of their top players, but I didn't consider myself a gamer because the stereotype is usually a man that is playing on some console or computer. They're playing MMOs, they're playing Zelda, World of Warcraft, League of Legends, those, and I never did. So I was like, oh, I'm not a gamer. That's funny.
Makes sense. Yeah. No, I think, I mean, statistically speaking, yeah, I think women is still minority in the gaming world, I think. Yeah,
Not
similar
in
to
mini
CS.
games,
Not in
that's for
many games?
sure.
Okay.
No, and the mini
Interesting.
game market is kind of taken over. So I actually don't know if that's true anymore.
Okay. Is it like casual game, the type
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
referring to,
casual
casual
games. Yeah,
mini game? Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I used to be a gamer when I was young. I don't, obviously don't have time to play games anymore, but yeah, still had a lot of fond
yeah.
memory back when I was in like middle school and high school, playing a lot of these strategy games, and yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
got addicted to them at one point. Fun
Mm-hmm.
time. Cool. Yeah, could you share with us your personal hobby? What do you do outside of work,
That's a good question.
just for fun? Yeah.
So I moved to Europe only around 6 months ago, and I would say my lifestyle has changed a lot since I moved here. And so I'll just speak to the last 6 months. I've really focused on work-life balance, and every day I go for a walk. I have a dog, and so I try to spend time in nature a lot. Nature really humbles me and just brings me that inner peace. And in the last several months, I've also picked up cooking a lot, which is also,
Nice.
and this is, I'm going to speak to probably you and probably a lot of other people watching. If you are so work really takes over your life and you find it hard to remove your mind from it, cooking is one of those activities. Skiing, I would say, is one of those activities. Driving, which I wouldn't promote, but stuff like that where it's like you have to have both of your hands in and fully focused. It does wonders for your mental health and your ability to, show up at work also, right? So I would say that's kind of the vibe over the last 6 months. Other hobbies of mine, I like to read. I used to paint a lot. I don't have time for that anymore. I love fashion. That's a big one. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I have quite a lot of different hobbies there, for sure. And yeah, I do like the fact I also cook quite a lot as well. I cook almost every day. If I'm at home and
Yeah.
in an apartment, I just cook
It's
every day. It's
wonderful.
actually a pretty relaxing time, I would say, because it's like a
Exactly.
very routine thing. I usually use that time to like maybe listen to book or listen to some news and
Yes. Podcasts.
whatever, right? Yeah,
I love
podcasts as well.
podcasts. I listen to, that's where my science nerd comes out. I listen to all of the educational science related podcasts. Those are my favorite.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's basically the perfect time, right? Yeah, for doing cooking. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So I think without further ado, let's go ahead and deep dive into Pixels, the game that you're helping to build. And yeah, feel free to share any demo gameplay. I think since the game would be interesting if you have any gameplay to share with us and maybe walk us over.
For sure. So
Or maybe give a
Pixels.
background of the game as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I briefly mentioned this, but Pixels originally started out as this online events platform. And I won't dive into why we pivoted to Pixels, but eventually, it was a multiplayer events platform that companies would rent out and use. It was called Mesh. And when we pivoted to Pixels, it just kind of made sense, right? And so we already had a game, which was kind of rare back then. Most projects were promising games. We already had one, which was really cool. So it was very rudimentary. There wasn't a whole lot going on. I remember when we launched farming, it's a farming game, but we launched the function for farming. I remember.
I see. Can you maybe explain the farming word for people who may not be familiar? I think for us, obviously, we know what it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we're talking real life, you plant a seed, you water it, and a plant grows, and you harvest it to eat, like a carrot, right? So in game, we have carrots. But here, let me show you the game because it's evolved so much, right? That was over 3 years ago. And so now it's an MMO, it's a multiplayer game. We've had over 10 million lifetime users, which is pretty cool. And it's just exploded. There's so many different aspects to the game. They're called industries, different industries, stone shaping, woodworking, mining, the winery, the list goes on. So let me just show you. This is just Terravilla. So this is the city center. Every person you see here is a person. This is me. I'm in a very special costume.
So you can like customize your costume?
Saying hi to me. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
This one I'm wearing is actually from an event we just hosted last week called Shoreline. It's an annual event to celebrate summer solstice, and it's the only time of year that you can harvest and plant shore limes, which is a specific crop. So it's just an example of kind of like this fun community live ops activity that we do. Hold on, I got to reply to this person. But this is just an testament to
awesome.
Yeah, what it's like to come and hang out in our community. We're known for the strength of our community, and this is an example of that. So, yeah, what am I up to?
Nice.
Should I tell them?
In this game, you can walk around, you can chat with people. That's pretty cool.
This is so funny.
Yeah.
Oops.
That's very cool. Oops.
That's great. And then so like this is Chicken Pet. He's a famous user. And you just come in and you see your friends hang out, which is really fun. So this is Terravilla. This is just the city center. There's so many different aspects that obviously I won't dive into, or we'd be here all day.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a role-playing game, would you say, too? Like you can do...
It's kind of up to you. Like you can if you want. I would say it's more of just like a hyper casual social game with like aspects of leveling up and everything. So here I can take you to some of my farms. This one's chaotic. We can go here. So these are actually NFTs. This is a farmland, and you can see this is me. This is Luke, and this is one of our top content creators.
Okay.
This is what they're called UGC, user generated content. So actually users within our community drew this and then applied to have it put in game, and it got accepted. So a lot of these objects you're seeing are UGC. But this is a mine, so someone came on my land and is mining, so they can come and collect in another 6 minutes.
Mining for what, like gold or food or what?
There's so many different things that could come from mining. I won't even get into it.
Okay.
There's tons, and that's just one industry, right? So here's a few farming plots. So another user is farming on my farmland right now.
So they're planting some food or something?
Yeah, I think these are actually coffee beans, Java beans.
Okay.
To go and then craft something else. But yeah, so this is one of my
Do they
farms.
farm it for their consumption, or do they sell it, or what is
a
it?
Mixture of things. So consuming crops, you don't really do that, but you can use them
when it's done. I mean, when
when you have to harvest the fruit. Right?
The fruits. Yeah,
you can use that to craft other things. So there's like a whole crafting system. So like if I come here, this is a stone shaping station. So I'm gonna start it with some wood. And then I open it up and I can craft a lot of different things. So I've been really focused on marble right now. I have a bunch of marble. So I'm going to make a pile of marblite powder. Then I can then turn that into marblite bricks, which then you can use for other things. But I honestly just usually sell them at that point. There is an in-game marketplace.
Okay.
So
you sell them for gold?
I sell them for coins. Yeah. Sometimes people call it gold.
Okay.
But yeah. So this is an example of one of my lands. Here's another one. Not everyone has an NFT land, but they are kind of like the core component of the game. And as you've seen, they are multiplayer.
Okay.
So
you can rent out space on your land, or is that how it works?
You can rent them out through some third-party systems. Yeah, but people just come. If you leave your farmlands open and other people can come and participate. So here's some more mines I have. See, there's another player going to do something.
Sense.
Metalworking stations. This is another industry. So someone else is using it right now. But if I come over here, let's see. There you go. I'll make a pile of screws. So that's 12 screws. So I'll come back in 2 hours and collect my screws, and then I can go and sell them, or I can go use them. We also have a task board, which is where users earn Pixel, which is our token. Mm-hmm. So if I click on right here, see, so let's do it. I have 18 marblite bricks, and then I can I'll get 4 Pixel for that. So now I earned 4 Pixel for delivering that. Yeah. So there's a bunch of different aspects to the game. There's a lot going on. This is all UGC. So there's a lot of customization components to the game also, which then empowers a lot of our users to kind of either create or join or form their own communities or guilds in the game too. Moku, for instance, is actually a company that we work with. They're wonderful people, but they have their own UGC in game. So it's almost like they're like a
What's Moku about?
They do so many different things within the Ronin ecosystem. I actually don't even know what their elevator pitch is because they do so many things, but I will say we work with them to run our content creator program, and they have done a fantastic job, and I speak so highly of them. So I can say that.
So somewhat like a marketing agency sounds like, yeah.
No,
or like more than that, yeah.
When we first started working with them, they did a lot of social questing sort of things.
Okay.
And now they run our content creator program, and then they also have their own lore. They have their own narrative. They have their own NFT collection. They've got a lot going on. But I don't know what the elevator pitch is. Sorry.
Good.
Yeah. So this is Pixels. So this is our core game. If you want to learn more.
In this game, I'm curious, like what, because when I was younger, I used to play a lot more games. In games, usually people like try to optimize for something, or optimize for wealth, or moving on next level, battle the boss. Like I guess there's no fighting in this game, right? It's all like
no, there's no combat. Which people, some people do want, and we've done some events that incorporate, and they've been kind of short-term events that incorporate different aspects of things that maybe you could say are a little bit more combative, but it's mostly geared around social and leveling up. This is my skills for all my industries. They're kind of low. I'm not going to lie. I've been much more focused on the social stuff than leveling up, but some users they have the insane levels, and this is our marketplace. So if I want to buy something, I can come in here and find
listing.
things to buy. I can sell things too over here. Here's some things I currently have for sale, which is fun. Yeah, there's lots of different areas you can kind of niche down into if you want, or you can just be kind of broad about it. But yeah, so this is core Pixels game.
Interesting. So people, I guess, like there's no like optimization function or whatever people they can do, like just kind of roll
people
it
find
for people.
people find their ways to optimize. We also have a VIP system, so people can purchase VIP with Pixel, and it gives them access to some extra things. We have a reputation system, which kind of allocates a certain number of reputation points per user, and that allows users to benefit more. And that's also like an anti-bot measure, because botting in Web3 is real. So a lot of things we've done have been to discourage bots. But yeah, we have an energy system in the game here. If you look at the top left here, I'm lower on energy. So you can get energy
and
by hanging
you
out
need
in
energy
the sauna.
to do things, right? In general.
Yeah. So when I just crafted those things, I lost some energy along the way. So you can regain energy from the sauna here. Which is just a fun kind of unique thing. I know Stardew Valley has something similar, but yeah.
Somehow the game just remind me a lot of like, I guess, like somewhat of SimCity, FarmVille, and maybe a couple other like actual farm game from Web2 days in a way.
Yeah, Farmville was a huge inspiration from us at the beginning, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is our core game. But what we've been working on also is expanding the Pixel token ecosystem. And so we've implemented a staking system, which is pretty cool. Users can stake their token to different games within the Pixel ecosystem. So here's the live staking board right now. We have over 100 million pixels staked to these 4 games. So this is the core Pixels game. As you can see, has a lot. And then this is some partnerships we've done. So Forgotten Runiverse and Sleepagachi. We have another one joining the Pixel ecosystem soon. And Pixel Dungeons is actually another game that I can show you. It's a publishing deal that we did.
Sure.
It's been the most successful on the staking front, if I'm being totally honest, because how staking, and especially how we've got a few stages to it, but the final end goal is how much a pixel token is burned within each game. Those are the rewards that go to stakers. So when I'm staking my pixel, I am hoping that game has the most pixel burn, because those are the rewards that I will reap from staking. So it's kind of like this different system, I would say. But yeah, let's play Pixel Dungeons, because this one is so streamable. It's very short little blips of game. I'm terrible at it.
So do you choose like a map or something?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different maps. There's some free ones and some that you pay with pickaxes to get into. Let's go into this one. Let's see. I'm pretty bad at it, I'm not gonna lie. But basically all you do is...
Are you trying to mine for diamond, gold? Or...
Yeah, so this is Pixel, right?
Okay.
And then you can you also want to try and avoid these goblins, because they will kill you. Oh no.
Can you fight? You cannot fight?
I can only place bombs. See, I'm pretty bad at this game, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. When we
so you lost the pixel. So you have to survive to get the pixel?
Yes, you have to survive. Oh, but someone died here. Actually, was that me? So I can pick up their loot.
Okay.
Which is fun. But you want to avoid these goblins. I'm so terrible at this game.
I see. Nice.
When we first launched it, so Luke and I, which has been part of our marketing strategy and probably one of the most successful things we've done, is we live stream AMAs with our community every week, every Wednesday. We've done it for oh my gosh. We've done it for over 3 years.
Run.
You know what? I'm just gonna stop. I'm okay. This. But we
Oh good. Yeah. I know it's hard to play live, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty hard to play live.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so we've live streamed AMAs with our community for over 3 years, every single week, which has been one of our best marketing strategies and community building activities. There's people make GIFs of us, especially me for some reason, all the time. And there's one of me playing that game, and I'm just like, it's funny.
I see. Wow, but yeah, no, I think talking about the consistency, you said like doing that
Yeah.
AMA for every week for 3 years to build. That's
Yeah.
pretty consistency. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
So I think in Web3, right? I think like there's well, the tech is important, but I think also like community is super important as well. Like how did you guys build the community? I guess you were one of the first joiner, right? Or like
Yeah.
employee per se.
So yeah, I have a few answers to that. So first of all, just because I thought of it, remember I said when I first started working with Luke, I ended up at Miami Tech Week with him. I'd only been working at the company for like 4 or 5 weeks, and we had a very small community at the time, but still vibrant. It was the bull market, so people were just joining discords left and right, and you know, so we had a little bit of a community going on. And I remember they were begging for more communication. And so I was like, okay, Luke, we're going to do a Twitter space, because spaces were also huge. They still are, but they were like the meta. And so we started hosting weekly Twitter spaces. And then a couple months in, I just thought we should show our faces. Let's go on camera. Let's do this. And we've only missed maybe 4 or 5 weeks over the last 3.5 years, which is quite remarkable, because it's not easy always to show up. Because you always have to show up, and through the bad times, through the good times are great, and then the low times are low. Even if I'm sick, there have been some times where I've been so ill. I'm just there. I have a really bad stomach ache or really bad anxiety, or whatever it may be. Even yesterday, I was like unwell, and people, because I'd barely eaten and I drank a bunch of coffee, and people were like, Heidi, do you have ADHD by any chance? I'm like, probably. But going back to the beginning, so it was kind of like the middle to end of the bull market, the crazy one a few years back, consciously made a decision like that our community, our culture was a little bit different to the norm of the time back then. And we instilled this, how do I describe it? Like family friendly, kind
vibe. Like a vibe or something?
Like this safe space basically within the industry for everyone. And a few months in, I coined the term farmer friendly, which really encapsulates our culture, which is now kind of this iconic saying, like, keep it farmer friendly. I'm like, we don't swear. And that's not because I don't swear. It's just because that's a really easy thing to just nix from a community, just to be like, hey, we want this to be welcoming. Some people are offended by these things. We want to keep it kind and nice and safe and homey. And I and Luke and we just dove in. We're just active, and we still are active all the time with our community members, and that becomes your home too. Like, I think some people, they think like, oh, you're a community lead or whatever it may be. It's like, no, this is my home too. I spend probably even more time than some of our users here. This is my home. Sorry, I just had a pop up. This is my home. This is my safe space. Like, these are my friends. Like, I don't know their real names, but I spend every day with them. And that just really, it builds like a really strong structure family, right? And so that's how it started. And there are still people in our community that were there day one, which is a bit of a testament to how it's played out. And so what we did over time too was, as we grew, we kind of gave ownership to our community members for managing the community, or making decisions in the game, or having ideas. Or I'm sorry, just cut 1 second. Jose, you're in the camera. Can you make sure that was cut out? I'm sorry. What was I saying here? Let me go back. So Luke and I were just in the community from day one, and over time, as we grew, we also kind of like pushed our community members to grow with us and give them a sense of ownership in how the community was working, and ownership of this culture that we built together. At the end of the day, if no one else is doing it with you, like, it's like you work together to create this culture, really. And that's what happened. And so I remember we had one sudden growth period that we were not expecting. And I happened to be in Mexico City at the time when it happened. I remember Luke messaging me and be like, did you buy followers? And I was like, what do you mean? No. What do you mean? And we had just blown up in a Russian community, because someone in a Russian speaking community had made a video about us, and we just blew up. And
nice.
It was cool, but it was hectic because I didn't have the community support set up. I wasn't ready for that. So I remember being in Mexico City airport, developing this new moderation role, which became the farm hands. So I wrote out a list of who are top community members right now, who are the people that are already doing what I would want them to be doing in this role. And I just wrote it out, and I messaged all of these people individually, and we still have that role. And some of the people are still the same people from 3 years ago when that happened. And it's kind of like where the strength of our community really has just grown from this foundation. So if I have any advice for people starting out building a community, first of all, if you like it, other people will too. And just because one person poo-poos your idea, that doesn't mean anything, right? Like I wasn't sure at first if there was going to be other people in crypto that wanted a farmer friendly atmosphere, because that was not the meta, right? But we were right. And just like focus on building that core foundation.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, that sounds pretty impressive that if you guys still have like members that joined 2-3 years back and then up until now, which kind of go to say that like the user retention probably good, I would say, right? Because I think that's probably a challenge for a lot of Web3 project in general.
Yeah. So what I talk about this a lot too, but a lot of people ask me like how to grow. How do you grow? Period. And they want one answer, but my response is always focus on retention, because if we spend all this time, money on some sort of growth, I hate calling it that, but if we spend all this time on something like that and we get a lot of hype and we get a lot of new users, if there's no foundation there, if there's no like stickiness there, people are just going to leave and move on to the next thing, which a lot of people will regardless. But if you can hold like a few of those users back, that's success. That's growth. That's real growth. And that's kind of what has happened with us over the years.
Awesome. Yeah. I think it kind of makes sense. I mean, you can also even put it into like an equation form as well too, right? You can technically use that to calculate some of that as well. I mean,
somehow.
Retention multiplied by, I mean, just think about it. The more hours people play, the more you'll be there, the more things that will happen, right? And the more growth that will eventually funnel back into your game somehow, I'm sure. Because you said there's like some in-game system, like you said earlier, right? So I'm assuming there's
I mean, there's
things
lots
that people can buy.
I mean, without diving into it, I'll just say at a high level, we have a lot of different types of users and a lot of different types of people that they want to do different things. We have hyper social users. We have users that don't talk to anyone and they just want to farm. We have users that are very focused on extraction, making pixel and flipping it for fiat. And then we have a lot that do not care whatsoever about any of the crypto stuff. They're just there for the vibes. We have crypto specialists also, right? So there's such an array of different types of users. So we've tried to do our best to kind of like solve this crazy equation of what is Web3 gaming for the types of users that are the most beneficial for long-term sustainability. And so it's kind of up to us to find ways to stabilize the Pixel token and build out the Pixel ecosystem, which is, our current kind of goal.
Makes sense. And yeah, it sounds cool that you also know your type of user, so you can basically target them quite well. Yeah, even have like a name something or like I guess like a personality. Right?
Yeah, they have like tags in the back end in the data. I won't say what they are, but well, for a long time too, it was just vibes. It was me. It was our community team members. It was, we're saying, hey, sentiment is a word that we use all the time of, hey, sentiment for this thing is really bad, or sentiment is down for this thing, or it's really high for this thing. And it's this type of user loves this thing. This type of user hates it. Is that okay? Right? Because what are the goals at the end? And if we want to dive deeper, we've developed this ratio, I'll call it, called return on reward spend. So for how many rewards that we give out, what's being spent, right? So we give 1 pixel, how much pixel are we getting back? Once that ratio hits 1, that's like a sustainable ecosystem. And once it's higher, that's even better, right? Because then we're locking up more pixel than we're giving out. We're not quite there yet across the ecosystem, but I think Pixel Dungeons has gone above 1 a few times, if not gotten close. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like a way to measure success of Web3 gaming. However, I think the idea of Web3 gaming versus Web2 it's just kind of getting blurred, the line there.
Yeah. I think, I mean, in general, I find that whether it's like Web3 or Web2 gaming, if the game is not fun, if the game is not like somehow have some stickiness, like you said, right, or something to keep people hooked on, right, for medium, long, or long term, whatever it may be, then it's probably going to be pretty hard to retain the user over time.
Yeah.
Because like if they play for one day, they get bored, and like they probably not going to come back, right?
And you know what? I say this in every interview, so I'm going to say it again. We only have 24 hours in a day. We have to eat, sleep, work, do all the other things. So why are our users spending those precious extra hours that they have in their day with us? Why are they doing that? They are human beings. They're individuals with their own lives. So why are they here? And that's really precious time, right? That's incredible, you know? So just like not taking that for granted.
Yeah, for sure. I think gaming is like, I mean, it's one of the biggest industry in the world, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
I think it's even, there was some data about like it's even bigger than the movie industry, which movie is like a huge titan already, and then gaming is even bigger. So I mean, if yeah, which, well, for I'm trying to say that if, yeah, gaming is like, so a lot of people, I don't remember the exact number, but I'm sure like the number of Web2 gamers probably already reach billion or maybe more, right? If you include all the casual and everything, easily.
I think Roblox has a daily active user count of approaching 100 million.
Oh yeah, that's huge, and that's just one game, right? See, that my point is
Roblox
that
has like a bunch of games, right? But yeah, it's
that's true. Or ecosystem, but like if you take into account, there's probably, I don't know, maybe 1,000, 100,000 other games, and probably gamers worldwide is a pretty big number. So it's a huge industry, is what I'm trying to say. So
it's bigger than you think it is, too. You know?
Yeah, it's really big for sure. It's
actually, you know what? And this is a complete side note, but a lot of the times when I'm like filling out some sort of form and I have to pick what industry I work in, gaming is never listed. Entertainment might be there, and if it is, I'll click that. But sometimes entertainment isn't even listed. I'm like, how is gaming not listed in these categories? Sorry, I digress. I was filling out a form literally yesterday, and I was like, I can't choose my industry. Gaming is one of the biggest industries in the world. Who writes these anyways?
Yeah, I think they have to simplify some like group, what is it, like sub industry, subcategories into it.
But if entertainment isn't there, then I don't even know what to write. Like marketing,
technology.
Yeah, technology is the next one, but like
right. Yeah, I think so. Okay, makes sense. Cool. Just curious about the people behind Pixel. How big is your team right now? How many people work in the company? That's a really good
question. I would say it's kind of changed a lot. Maybe like 25 to 30 people. And then we have
full time?
Yeah, see, that's the hard part. It's hard to answer because we do have a lot of full time, but we also have a lot of part time. We have a lot of contractors, even volunteers. So it's like, where's the line? Where do we draw the line? So I would say 25 to 30 almost full time people on the team.
Okay. A majority in business roles or engineering?
No. Majority would be dev, design. It's pretty balanced. Dev, design,
engineering.
Yeah, engineering, community. We have like 3 artists, but like one of our artists is actually works with an agency. There's a lot. We've got a pretty good balance, I would say, across the board.
Nice. Yeah. And then I'm sure similar to other Web3, your team is probably working fully remote, right? Everyone probably spread out. And
we're fully remote.
So what's the challenge facing a Web3 gaming team?
The hardest part of all of this is that it hasn't been done before. You know, we're building something new and revolutionary, riddled with controversy, and not to mention external influences, global markets, global issues impact the market, which impacts sentiment of the users that are involved in the more like crypto side of things. And there's so many different types of users, like I was saying. There's some really kind ones. There's some really not kind people also. You have to have really thick skin if you're involved in the external side of the team. Like I face a lot of I get death threats. I face sexism like no other. There's a lot going on. You have to love it. You have to really be willing to dive in deep and enjoy the journey. Find the other people that are there with you for the same reasons, right? Our community members, most of them are totally aligned with us and what we are looking to do. And yeah, you just have to be willing to kind of dedicate your life to a point to working a lot, because it doesn't close. The markets don't close. This isn't the stock exchange. This is the international gaming community. When I go to sleep, something bad can happen and I won't even know until the morning. So it's helpful actually that we have an international team. We didn't originally, we were mostly the US and Canada. Now we have a lot more internationally speaking. So we're pretty much covered. But there was a while where, we would be sleeping and something would go down and it was like, oh no, and I'm just up until 4 a.m. trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say it's hard. It's not for people that like to just turn off. You can't do that. It doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I think that's one thing that could be a challenge for most people in Web3 is like, with this fast pace and always new technology, new things coming out, and always have to keep up, right? Yeah. So I think having international team help in that aspect, right? Like at least for time zone management and community management as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
and you're always wrong. That's something I kind of joke with some of my team, is that we're always wrong to someone. We push an update, 90% might like it, 10 won't, and they will tell you that they don't like it. Like you're always wrong to a certain degree. So you just kind of have to do what you think is best and listen to feedback, of course. But yeah, you have to have a thick skin for sure.
For sure. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So since you said like lifetime user of like 10 million, and then I guess like daily or monthly active user is probably some percentage of that. I would imagine.
Our daily active user count is definitely down. I think we're sitting around like 60,000.
Okay. Oh, that's quite a lot now.
But it is significantly down. And I will be the first to admit that the whole industry is down. It's shrunk. There's just simply not as many users playing Web3 games as there used to be. I will say, though, that...
What would be the reason?
That's a good question. Why is Web3 gaming down? I think the market tanking really hurt a lot of people. Bitcoin tanked and brought the alt market down with it, and now it's at all-time high, and it didn't bring the alt market back up with it either. And that definitely impacts sentiment for a lot of our users that are like heavily involved in the crypto space. And then just the hype around the industry has gone down. There's been so many studios shutting down, which definitely like brings in this sentiment that Web3 gaming is dead. I just spoke on a panel at a conference, and I arrived to the conference and they're just like, okay, it's going to be a debate about is Web3 gaming dead? And I was like, okay. And then 4 minutes before we go on stage, I'm told you have to debate that Web3 gaming is dead. And I was like, what?
Ouch.
What do you mean?
It's a tough one.
Yeah. So I was funny because I was just thinking like, okay. I'm holding my mic and I'm thinking, I'm reading the Twitter comments that I get, the mean ones, the bad ones. But anyways, I think there's so many different factors that have gone into this kind of like overall sentiment of it going down. And like I said, I also think that the line of like what is Web3 gaming versus Web2 is being blurred. And I'm really tired of calling it Web3 gaming. I still do it because it's like a defining of our game and our mission and who we are. But it's just a game with crypto blockchain components. Like you don't have to interact with any of that stuff to actually play the game, which is pretty cool. So I think that that's also kind of the goal of a lot of studios. We're not trying to hide the crypto components, but it's also keeping it really friendly to users that have no interest in that or just like don't even know. But then you're competing with Web2 games, which is also that's a challenge. So there's so much going on. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling at this point because there's so many things happening.
Oh, good. But yeah, like what I was saying earlier, like the gaming is a huge industry. So I think competing with, if you actually able to compete with Web2 gaming, I feel like you're already pretty big in my thinking. I could be wrong, obviously, but because that's if you're already at that point where people thinking about game versus in the Web2 game, then because we both know that the Web2 gaming industry is huge, and so I feel like that could be a good.
Well, there's a lot of things in Web3 gaming that you just can't do in Web2 gaming. I won't dive into it, but there's the whole ownership thing. There's the visibility of blockchain. There's just like a lot of different aspects. So if people are interested in those sorts of things, then like Web3 gaming is for them.
I see. Cool. And then how do you think Web3 gaming will evolve in the future?
Like I've been saying, I think the line is blurring. The internet was revolutionary at one point, because at the end of the day, Web3 is just technology. And I think there's this culture that's wrapped around what crypto is and what um, blockchain is and all of that, but it's just technology. It's just another type of technology. And so over time, it's just going to be normalized. A lot of companies are already using it and you don't even realize it. So I think over time, it's just the line's going to be blurred and it's just going to be called gaming. And there will be aspects to it that utilize blockchain technology.
Makes sense. Yeah. And then where does Pixels fitting in that future?
That's a good
What do you see?
question. So the Pixel ecosystem is really what we're building out, adding a lot of different games to the Pixel ecosystem. The problem we're having right now is a lot of Web3 games don't generate revenue. But bringing on the ones that do, because that's kind of how the staking system works. Yeah, we're building out different aspects of that, and we're also just we've been very experimental since day one, and I think we will continue to be experimental. So I actually can't tell you, maybe like in a couple of years we launch something that's absolutely insane that I would have never have thought of today. So we'll just see where the journey takes us, I guess.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think the ability to experiment fast and like launch new things is pretty important.
Be willing to fail.
Yeah.
And be willing to fix quickly.
That too. Yeah, awesome. Cool. Yeah, just two more questions from my side. We will close out the show. One is that, do you have any advice for people who want to break into Web3? You had a very interesting story there.
Yeah, not really, because I kind of accidentally ended up here, right? So I would say develop your skill set. Like that's what I was doing, right? I just wanted to be doing something creative, and I saw digital marketing as an opportunity for me to build out new skills, learn skills that are very applicable to day-to-day things, and jobs very applicable to, I wanted to work and earn money. So obviously I was trying to find something that made sense and become really good at them and flexible. Especially a lot of Web3 companies are startups with their babies, right? We're not talking major corporations for the most part. So being a generalist and knowing a lot of things, how to do a lot of things and how to get things done is more beneficial than being really, really good at one little thing, in my opinion.
Makes sense. Yeah. If I could just quickly summarize that. So it sounds like you'd want to develop a skill set that people or Web3 project would find helpful, right? Useful. And then, be able to solve problem in general, which I think your background was like really suited from the time you said you were studying electrical engineer, which is a pretty tough major. I agree.
It was.
And then being generalist as well, learn fast as well. I think Web3. Awesome. Thanks. And final question: where can people follow you and your company? Feel free to share any public handles or username.
Yeah, I would say on X, Twitter is probably the best. We're Pixels_online, and then I'm Heidi Christine without the last I. I don't know if this shows. Take that I out, and that's my handle. Yeah, and also I know like marketing me is supposed to say, go to our game and sign up. But I actually think the best place to start is our Discord. Join our Discord, join our community, get to know some users there, and they'll be so happy to help you get started. So do that. The links are in our Twitter bio.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll make sure to put all the links down here in the show notes so that people can follow along and then join your Discord and maybe follow you and your company as well.
Wonderful.
Once again, Heidi, it's been a real pleasure having you on the show here today and talking about Pixels, Web3 gaming, and how it will evolve in the future. Well, once again, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we're back to my studio. What do you guys think about Pixels and Pixels gaming community? If you have played the game, please share your farmer experience below. Heidi and her community would love to hear from you. This is a side announcement. One of the proven use cases of crypto is the ability to use crypto to make payment instantly on-chain. With the recent proliferation of crypto cards, now people can use crypto to make everyday purchases without having to off-ramp to fiat currencies. My team and I are building a crypto card guide site. If this is something you're interested in, please write crypto card in the comment below so we can keep you informed when the site is live. If you enjoyed this episode, please give a like and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Thank you for watching and see you next time.